A man getting bit by an alligator and he screams.
Okay, quiet. Hey, quiet.
Stood out towards me.
Oh! No, not an owl. A real scream of pain.
Did you get your Casey Musgrave in the middle of nowhere tour tickets?
Of course I did, because I'm a big Casey Musgraver. Is that like? What do you think? Like the fans of Casey Musgraver
I
called?
just live in the Musgravity of it all.
Ooh, the Musgravitron. You think that's good?
The Musgravital pole.
Musgravital pole. The Musgravedness. Welcome back, Screamers, to a very special edition of Driving While Screaming, because we just saw a 35 millimeter screening print of a 2001 The American Astronaut by Jason's best friend.
By my best bud, Cory McAbee. Which I want him to be.
Hey, boy.
I want him to be my best friend because I do think the man is an unadulterated genius. But, so it's so funny because, like, and it's hard to
describe this film.
Well, not only that, but it's like going back to 2001 and like living in a world where this just wasn't readily available. Like, one of the things I hope kind of came, I didn't really mention, like I had it and I just didn't say it, but like in my intro, I talked about how the Angelica opened up here in 2001, and before Dallas had like 4 art house screens, not theaters. Like
right.
there were two theaters. Well, I guess it was 5 to be fair, but there was split up between 2 theaters. They were both kind of like off the beaten path, and like Dallas never got really great or really obscure independent film.
Yeah,
and it always felt weird to me because like Dallas is a huge city, right? I mean, it's not like it's,
especially if you ask Dallas itself,
right? But it's also, middle America, like, everything came to New York and LA, and it never, ever really came to, like, Dallas. So when the Angelica opened up here, and I mean, the Angelica being, like, this institution of New York,
right?
It felt like we had kind of arrived. Like, it felt like, oh, shit, now this is going to be what it's going to be like all the time. Like, it's just going to be, and for a while, when it was really good, it was. Like, their opening slate was amazing. They played Hedwig and the Angry Inch on day 1. They played Larry Clark's Bully. They had Chopper. There was one other one. George Washington was the other one that opened up.
Your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite director.
I saw Bully at South Keystone Arts in Indianapolis on like the opening week. So
so that book was written by a guy named Jim Schultz, who used to work for the Dallas Observer. Mm-hmm. And so like he was there with like Wolanski on opening night talking about like, I didn't go to that screening. I didn't go to that screening until much later. I saw it there, but I didn't see.
I was one of like 2 people in the screening of mine.
And then Made opened up, and then Divided We Fall was the other one, which that doesn't exist anymore. But I mean, like, but anyway, like it was it was so fucking cool. Like, because I just went to see like all of those movies, like, and like seeing Hedwig Hedwig would have never come to Dallas, kind of thing, man. And so it was, I don't know, it was really cool. So the reason that I saw American Astronaut was because we had an 8-screen art house theater that allowed it to take up real estate for a week, right? Which is all it took up. Like, I'm sure ticket sales for the American Astronaut there in that first week were abysmal because no one
$50.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, because the screening that I was in had 4 people in it, like I said, and like 2 of them walked out halfway through. But my buddy and I, who saw the film, again, we became obsessed with it.
Right.
Like, and you couldn't see it anywhere else. Like you couldn't get your hands on it. So like, we became even more obsessed. And like, it was like we drove to Austin for a screening, but it didn't actually happen.
Oh.
And so that was like all like really disappointing. But like, and then so yeah, I mean we just like waited with bated breath until the DVD came out. And then it was just we had talked about like, and it wasn't, we talked about like we reached out to like booking agents, but I mean like there wasn't any place to book it, right? I mean like it wasn't like you could just,
because no one was going to say like, yeah, sure, come show this film. Like,
right.
What movie is this?
Right. And there wasn't a digital, like there wasn't a digital copy. There wasn't like, it wasn't like it is now. Like I mean most most theaters hadn't gone to digital projection yet. Most of them probably couldn't have played a DCP if there wasn't one of us available. So yeah, it kind of built the mystique up for me anyway, of like this being a thing even then, when you could still get like region free or region B, like Japanese films or whatever region Japanese films are, I guess there'd be. They were, I had a fucking player that could convert from PAL to NTSC type
right.
stuff. So, but it was just not available, and I think it was, but it's also just like nothing that even I think today it really is like, people try to compare it to like Eraserhead and
it's not
Lynch, but it's not that. It's not that at all, right? I mean, I think they do that because it's black and white. And I think that's really the only reason.
Well, it's also, I mean, like as we have discussed, right? If you don't know how to classify something, you say it's Lynchian. I mean, like,
that's true.
Like, you're just like it's Lynchian, and you're like, even though you don't really know what like Lynchian is, even on its own. But yeah, this is not Eraserhead. I mean, this is its own kind of category of thing, and it's kind of a musical, but also like not really a musical.
Right.
I mean, because the songs they're just part of it. I don't know.
So the film is about a
space trucker,
an American astronaut, a space trucker named Samuel Curtis, who has a series of tasks to do. He has to bring a cat to a bar to trade it for a woman in a box.
A real life girl
in a box, to trade that with a boy who's seen a breast, so he can trade that to a group of women in Venus, so he can get back the remains of a man whose family on Earth wants him back, so he can become rich.
Yep.
And that's the story.
That's the story.
As convoluted as it is. And then
and there's his nemesis, right, is chasing him the whole time.
Right. His nemesis, who is a birthday boy.
That's right.
And who will kill you if he doesn't have a reason to kill you, but can't kill you if he does have a reason to kill you, is chasing him the entire time.
Because then the problem is not resolved, is never resolved.
I think, this obviously is a no budget, lo-fi film.
But it looks so fucking cool.
But it is amazing. Like from that opening sequence when he's going into the series bar.
Yeah.
And he's doing that space skip.
Yeah.
Like everything is done so well and so earnestly. Like another thing, this gets compared to Plan 9 and like a lot of like Ed Wood type stuff. Like Ed Wood meets Buñuel meets Lynch. I'm like, none of that shit works. It's not, because it's not bad. It's not
right.
It's nonsensical, but it's earnest, and it's
never winking at you.
Right, and that's it plays it fucking 100% straight. Like even Rocco Sisto, who like is again like playing it over the top, during the birthday song, or it's a stinky boy.
That's the best line.
It's just fucking like
a stinky boy.
And I hope that everyone who went tonight, we had a great crowd.
It really was. That was fantastic.
Even though there was technical issues, and
we got them fixed.
And there was
they got them fixed.
Yeah, and there was one person who came up afterwards and was like, "Hey, I came because of the newsletter. Like I follow you guys."
Oh,
like,
nice.
So yeah, I mean, like
that's awesome.
It was, and I know there were other people that were Fort Worth Film Club people and Real House people that were there. So thank you guys for that. But no, it's, I mean, like again, going from a 2001 crowd where 4 people saw this to a crowd of what looked like to be 50 people or so.
Yeah.
warm. I don't know. It's just cool to see it with that group of people.
It was fun to watch it with that.
Right.
With that
It's
crowd
cool
of
to
people.
hear the
That was a good crowd.
It's cool to hear the laughs, and then also like I can see the parts that people. I mean, like on a 35mm print with the sound being what it was. Like it's all and like you know all props to Texas Theater, but the sound's not great in either one of their theaters.
Yeah.
And like obviously 35mm that has its own issues. Like you're gonna miss jokes, and you're gonna miss just little pieces. But like I think one of the one of the things that always came off to me that was so much fun is like they don't make me wear these coats. I get to they let me. The words "let," and I'm like I get to, and that first part kind of gets hidden underneath the dialogue.
Yeah.
But yeah, the songs. I think the songs are legitimately good. Like I mean, like this, the lyrics are nonsense, but the music's legitimately good.
The music's really good.
They're so varied. It's not like in the sense of like you were saying it's a musical, but it's not like all of the songs are kind of different. I mean, like the girl with the vagina made of glass is. I mean, like it's it's
right.
more of like this. And the beginning songs are more like rockabilly punk rock. Hey Boy, and then they stick with you too. Like Hey Boy is such a great song.
That scene, that is one of like the best scenes in the film. Just those two guys,
just dancing in the bathroom.
Their stoicism and then their dance moves in the bathroom. It's fucking brilliant, right? It's just to come in there and sing a kind of like love song to this guy sitting on the toilet. I think it's just, and it kind of like that tells you right there what you're in for. Well, and it's like if you can't get on this vibe right now, you're gonna have a tough time for the rest of the film.
Right? Yeah, he meets his best friend
and former dance partner.
And former dance partner is a guy who goes across the galaxy and steals fruit. He's known as the Blueberry Pirate,
and then he sells it to other people or trades it to. Can we talk about how sort of free everyone is with the dancing? Like everyone in this movie loves to dance.
Right.
There's like no shame in it, right? They dance. They all want to dance, right? And they're all like appreciative of your dancing, right? They want to watch you dance. I think it's wonderful, right? And these two guys that will dance together and win the contest. It's
right.
great.
And that one will curtsy and one will bow.
Yes.
And there's no like.
Yes. And they only did like 2 dance moves, right? And everyone loved it. But no, I love that everyone in this film just wants to dance. They just want to dance.
What I think is some like genius about this is that like out of all of the the insanity of the film, like we said before, it all feels so earned because like lines like when he calls him Larry Blueberry and he's like, my name's Lawrence. I've never liked Larry. Like those words shouldn't.
Right.
Like you should be. I mean, like in most films, you're gonna be, what the fuck is going on? Like why? But you don't. And again, I've seen this movie plenty of times, so like I've lived in it a lot. But even when I first saw it, I think like you have this kind of, like I said, you either go along with it or you don't. But I think if you go along with it, like everything kind of just washes over you in the best way. I mean, lines like, "Is it just me or do my balls itch?" It's but also like they're so like this movie's really really funny and like in a really really bizarre way. And I think again, like if it ever had a moment where it like was too knowing, it would completely unravel.
Yeah, it does not. It does not wear like its irony on its sleeve, right? Which is good. It's so charming. Right? It is just so charming. It's so also kind of unassuming,
right?
In a way, in the way that everybody's going through this. I mean, I don't know. There's not enough like good things to say about this, and I think it looks incredible. Yeah. I mean, I love how it looks, and to see it on 35, real film. Was really cool.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he shot it on 16mm and blew it up to 35. And that's the other thing. I think like you said, it looks so great, but like it never even aside from looking good, because I think there are I think there are films that are shot for like I'm thinking like El Mariachi,
sure,
shot on 16. Look, I think that film is really pretty amazing as well.
Yeah.
But like what McAbee's able to do and to make you kind of buy into, like, it's different when I think you're kind of playing an actual true, like, shoot 'em up Western.
Right.
Versus you're trying to pull off this aesthetic of, like, you're in space and, like, and you're in a spaceship. And having you buy into, okay, I'm in a spaceship, but like one of the main props here is a fucking desk lamp.
Yes.
That's turned on, like it's providing lighting for this scene.
Right.
And like the still frames that he does, not only when he's like doing the, oh, I'm gonna explain it to you, which again, this like, if I can compare this to anything, this feels more like a Hartley film than it does anything else.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Or I'm gonna explain something to you and then I'm not gonna explain it.
Right.
And But like the you know, the kind of matte painting frames of this ship going through space and kind of like a very much of Spaceballs, like Winnebago, like going through space.
No, it's it's a space semi.
But it looks so good, and it like it plays so well, and it like again one of the things I don't ever really see it compared to, maybe I've just missed it, but like the Buster Crabbe like Flash Gordon serials. This feels way more like that than it does, you know, anything modern at all.
Right.
But I think it gives it a weird timeless quality. I think the bookends are really good. Like, and I normally hate bookended films like that. But I think they really like they hit just right. The last line's perfect.
Yep.
That whole like, you know, father-son dynamic of it, it's just.
I do want to add on again to like the way it looks, and I think that, like, one of the reasons that I think it looks so amazing is because it knows exactly what its aesthetics are.
Yeah.
And how to play those up and how to like really kind of live in those aesthetics where, you know, I know you've mentioned like Ed Wood and some of these other filmmakers, but you know, you can see those almost feel kind of like tossed off at times, right? It's like, look, we know it looks like shit and we don't care, but this one really leans into this kind of handmade, homemade aesthetic, and so it works. It works because of that.
Right. I mean, like Ed Wood ends up being like a comedy of errors, right? It's you know, set pieces fall over. You know, they have to make do with it. It's ridiculously lo-fi. Like this one knows how to use every single cent of its budget, right?
Yeah.
And doesn't ever allow you to break the veil. I mean, like at no point do you feel like you're not in space. It feels a lot like Ken Zaza and
yes,
Gaga,
and then the Gaga,
in that sense of like, oh, they know how to make this, like they knew what their vision was.
Yeah, those are better. Analogs
I
than
agree.
like,
but then no one knows.
Stuff.
No one knows those, right? So
well, sure.
I mean, like, yeah, especially. But yes, I agree. Like the Ken Zaza and Gaga look. I mean, like those feel more like brethren to this film than you know, than anything else that is mentioned on the poster or anything like that. James Ransone, again, rest in peace.
Yeah.
But James Ransone's first film here, like he goes from this directly to Ken Park, Larry Clark's Ken Park.
Right.
And I'm like, where he has like where he's masturbating on screen, like Ken Park, like it's and also I mean, so it's an interesting opening to your filmography.
And then when was he in season 2 of The Wire?
Oh man, I don't know.
That?
I think Wire was in 2004, maybe 2005.
I was going to say like 3, 4, or 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just a few years after that, and then Generation Kill.
Right.
And then I mean he kind of. So this was, but I mean before that, right? Do you know how he met McAbee?
No.
I don't either.
Oh,
I was curious to know.
No.
Because I would imagine that McAbee was in that kind of New York music scene at the time.
Yeah.
But so was, and Ransone had to be as well, because he came up with like Chloe Sevigny and like that crowd,
right.
Natasha Lyonne and that kind of group. So there has to be some kind of connection there, I would just think, right, or assume. But you know what happens when you assume, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really do a lot of research.
Well, and I would imagine, I don't know. Like, there's not a ton out there, really.
That's the other thing. They're just, there isn't.
as like, I mean, as much as I think Cory McAbee should be way more popular than he is, like, and I think there's a definitive, like, I don't necessarily need to be popular. This is what I'm going to make the work that I'm going to make.
Right. Which there's something really honorable in that.
Right.
I just want to like make sure we say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, so there's not just a ton. Like when this came out, I think it kind of made a few waves, and you know, like this would have been a good time for independent cinema for sure. And so I think there were articles being written about it, but I do think like the Roadshow, while it played into its mystique, maybe hurt it a little bit in regards to like, and maybe that's, I think this works well for this film. This film should be a film that remains somewhat obscure.
Yeah.
I think this is a film that works best if it's not parodied or you have too many, like, you know, film bro hands like doing the whole Hertz donut joke or whatever. You know, I mean, like, which I think that fucking, like, I mean, this is why I think also so like good. the level of acting in this, like, is like spot on it and all. I mean, like, it's just amazing for this, like, what you would like, here's the thing, again, and I know this is my like blanket go-to default thing that I compare everything to, but like, you talk about something like Clerks, right? I mean, like, whereas the script is great, but the acting can't always hold it up. Right. Like, there's not a moment in this film where you're like, oh, well, fucking that guy stands out because he sucks at what he sucks at his line reading. Like, everybody in this, and I know that the old man reading, doing the Hertz donut bit is a veteran actor. Like, he's not a nobody. But like, that level of writing of that joke is so fucking good. Like, I mean, and to like take it to where it's just mean, and then have the confidence to like, and I guess the whole movie has confidence in its writing, but like have the confidence of like, he just spouts off some gibberish and blah blah blah. That's the end of the joke. Yeah. And he's like, I never understood that joke. I guess I'm not from Earth.
Right. Which is the punchline of the build up there. I mean, and it has, I mean, a lot of that like weird kind of subtle humor too, right? When he's like, you want to hear something really weird and then just makes a weird noise. Right. I mean, again, I love jokes like that. I mean, you know, how many times I have to tell you my favorite joke from Ghostbusters, right?
Yes, yeah.
Quiet, do you smell that? Like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's like, so that was so funny. No, everybody knows exactly what they're supposed to do in this film, right? Everybody knows exactly what their role is and sort of who they're playing. And again, that's something else that makes this so watchable and so kind of endearing.
Like, yeah, like, because once you get to like something like the Yetis and Rio scene, and you're like, this shouldn't work. No. Right? This should not play as funny as it does, because it's complete like nonsense. There's no lead into it, and I mean, you see him read the book,
right? But it's like every character in this film is a vaudeville actor.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, so Samuel Curtis is not just a truck driver kind of / smuggler, right? But he's also a contest-winning dancer, right? And clearly, you know, an old stagehand. I mean, like, knows what to do on stage and knows these old kind of routines, which is something else that I think is just hilarious in this film, is that everybody will just like break into these acts.
Yes, yeah.
It's like they all spent the summer at the Catskills, like performing.
Right,
they just, you know, like they're just a bunch of theater kids. They like came together in space.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
Right. It's brilliant.
Because even like Sisto's like, and I think the film like does a really good job of keeping you on your toes in a way too. Like, because Sisto's like dance, like at, you know, on the mining planet is weird and funny, but ends on kind of a sad, pathetic note. Like, I mean, I think, you know, it allows you to be in this weird spot of like, you don't ever have this film figured out. No. Like, and so like, no. And then, you know, it kind of lets you off the hook at the end, where it's just like, and that was it. And then this, you know, that was the adventure, and I did this and he did that, and there's
more adventures to come. Right, but I also think like that's the perfect way for this film to end.
Oh yeah.
Where it just like stops, and that's it. So that was that story, right? I think that if it tried to like actually sort of wrap things up, like if we saw, Sisto kind of staying, or if we saw Curtis and the boy who saw a breast, like if we saw them together and leave, I don't think it worked. I don't think that ending works very well. I think this one where we just kind of like leave it, and then again like bookend, go back to the beginning. I think you have to end it that way.
Can we talk about how McAbee's look? Because the guy looks fucking amazing on screen.
Yeah.
Like
these big old mutton chops.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I think I think the Blueberry Pirate looks amazing. I think the boy who saw a breast is. I mean, I'm really like, and I know the black and white lo-fi like adds to all of that.
Yeah.
But I think whoever did
the costuming and the sort of like makeup is perfect. Again, I mean, this is something that the film knows exactly the aesthetic it wants to portray, right? It knows like, okay, these guys are, in a rockabilly band. I mean, that's who they are, right?
And even like the times where like it knows it has to explain more, it turns those into song and dances that are still really funny. And like, again, those weird asides should work. A barn in the middle of space.
A space barn,
and then
if you will.
Earthlings who have spent too much time in space and now have become deformed.
Right.
And who have a kid
but still found time to hump on each other.
Right. And not because we were fancy. Sometimes we didn't even know what we were looking at.
Yes, we did.
Like, and that's the other thing too. Like, I think, that this film demands you watch this multiple times.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get like lines like that, like of where, we were humping on each other and we didn't know what we were looking at, but yeah, we did. Like, we weren't trying to be fans. I think that's really, really. I mean,
it's smart. It's a smart film.
Yeah, and I think the whole idea of like, again, maybe I wasn't giving it enough credit for being prescient, but like again, this planet full of miners who are looking up to, looking up to a man who's only had a very small modicum of sexual, experience.
Yeah. And he's a boy.
And like,
he's a boy who saw a breast.
Right. But I mean, like, and if you and not to get too deep in a rockabilly western, but like this idea that they're going to grow a woman and have, I mean, like, and he's gonna, the leader of the town is gonna have intercourse with her to like be able to tell it back to the society. But not only that, but like she's gonna be told of all of their good deeds.
Yeah.
That's fucking impressive. It's deep. And it's like, again, it almost underlies or belies the conceit of this film, which is just to just be a fun, like, silly,
like
toss off,
romp,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but to get into that kind of level of, I mean, like you said, I think this planet full of incels, right, who are then like bewitched by one, like this boy, right, who saw one boob, and then this guy who's going to like forcibly grow a woman in a box, like, and then keep her separate and keep her for himself to then relay these kind of like triumphs to other people. I mean, this is it's one of those like these new like podcast bros, right? That it's just like that
right.
Everyone looks up to. Like, I'm not saying like Joe Rogan or those guys, but like, or whoever that one doctor is. Like, but I mean that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, right? and like, and who knows? I mean, I'd have to. I don't even know.
Do more research on
well,
podcast
I have to,
bros.
like, no, I'd want to talk to Cory to see like what kind of like the the inspiration for not only that, but again, like a planet full of women who have decided they don't need anything besides one like man who they can use as a stud.
Yeah, which again, like, I mean, the kind of opposite to this mining factory, right? But it seems so much more empowering and like freeing on the women's side, right? Rather than the men, where it's still like stifling and they're still sort of like kept in this kind of like labor encampment, right? And yeah, I mean, they don't get to actually like partake, right? I mean, like the women on Venus are kind of like the nuns in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, right?
Right,
I mean,
right.
they just want like a wee bit of peril, but the men are just kept kind of like, down or oppressed then by another man.
Right.
So
And
see,
you
the
could-
patriarchy doesn't work for anyone.
And you could make an argument that like Professor Hess is like almost like Samuel Curtis's like conscience in a way.
Sure, yeah.
Because I mean, he's like, because again, there's nothing. It's abhorrent, and like he's not exactly happy about taking a woman, this real life girl. He doesn't really know what it is, but I mean, then Professor Hess comes and kills that entire planet.
Yeah.
And like, basically frees this girl from having to be this, this sex slave in essence, right?
Right.
And and again, like I don't necessarily know if that holds up throughout the entire film, right? I mean, like in regards to the first sequence and whether he like needs to kill everybody in Ceres or whatever.
Yeah.
But I do think there's an interesting parallel there of like, because he does say that they're they're like family, and so they're
Right.
clearly from the same place. Like again, they're the only two quote unquote Americans, and I don't think that title is necessarily like just thrown about, right? I mean,
No.
I do think there's meaning to that in the sense of he is kind of this blue collar working class guy who's just trying to make ends meet and also chasing a get rich quick scheme.
Right.
I think there's something inherently American about
that. Yep.
Especially, and then there's this educated narcissist who kills indiscriminately, or at least, kills without reason.
Right.
And again, I know I made the comment about being prescient for today. And look, I still stand by that comment. I know that he couldn't have predicted but there's something to be said about that too, about this American who wants everyone to recognize its birthday, right?
Right.
And it's,
Yeah.
and it's the most important thing in the world. And like, don't you want to sing me happy birthday?
Yeah.
I think there's something
Don't you-
really smart about this film
Yep.
that is easy to forget and dismiss.
Right, it's easy to laugh off.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because it is so funny, but yeah, there's so much wrapped up in a lot of this stuff. Right, and again, I mean, the sort of like indiscriminate violence of Hess also, I think, has a place in the America we live in.
Amen.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, we'll be back soon with more
Altman. With that guy that we're watching his movies.
That guy that we apparently have left behind. So more Altman, something new, and I think we're gonna have to touch on the Mother Mary controversy.
Oh yeah.
I do want to talk about.
There's a few things I want to talk about. If we're adding things to the list, I want to talk about the because this is not necessarily a new thing, but it's come up recently. The Project Hail Mary alternative audio track thing that you can play on your phones, which has been a thing for a minute, but now it comes and goes. And I want to talk about that.
Okay.
And then
if you play it backwards, does it tell you to go?
Yes,
Okay,
it gives.
right.
Yeah.
John is the walrus.
Right.
Oh wait, no wait, that's a different.
It's just if you play it backwards, it's a Ryan Gosling, Eva Mendes sex tape that you get to watch.
Oh, perfect.
Right.
I can't wait. What else did you want to talk about?
I don't know. There was something else that I was going to talk about, I don't know, or some shit, some movies or some theater bullshit, or something going on in the industry, or I don't know. I'll come up
Cool.
with it.
You'll think about it. Okay.
I'll
Yeah,
think about it.
we've got stuff. All right, guys, be safe getting home. Thanks for listening.
Keep screaming.
You have been listening to Why Does the Wilhelm Scream with your hosts, Brock and Jason. If you liked today's episode, do us a favor and rate, review, and subscribe in whatever application you use to consume podcasts these days. You can reach us by visiting whydoesthewilhelmscream.com. If you are in the DFW area, we would love to see you at a Fort Worth Film Club event. You can learn more about those and find a full schedule at fortworthfilmclub.com. And you can learn about my foundation and how we are trying to foster the next generation of film lovers at realhousefoundation.org. That's REEL housefoundation.org. Till next time,